Birds, TV stands, and topics that should not be discussed. Oh my!
In 5D. They're talking about my life.
Yeah,
Probably.
that was all Klops's life. That's me doing Klops's life in a nutshell.
That pretty much is my life in a nutshell.
Well, and bad forward lighting.
Yeah, I have terrible forward lighting. It's because my TV's not on. Because I have my
Right.
my like lamp set up to turn on when my TV's on. Because it's plugged into like this weird plug. But
Apartment life.
Yeah.
It never gets old. Oh
Yeah.
wait. Yes, it does. I'm with you. How's everybody doing this week? This week it's me, the guy who's on every show on this channel. And if you don't know me by now, I don't know what you're doing here. And then Klops, the guy who's on almost everything on this channel except for one thing. Say hi, Klops.
hi, Klops.
And then Eduardo, the other guy who's on everything on this channel except for two things.
Wait, which two things?
Klops' stream. There's two streams that aren't your stream.
That's true, but Klops is streaming on Klops' stream. He's not streaming on the meta.
Oh, I thought you were doing both.
No, I'm mostly just doing mine.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, you're both not on one thing.
Yep.
No, I guess that's true. I'm not on your thing. I'm on my own, and then I'm on this, and then I'm on the
Tuesday.
Tuesday night.
But he's on the Tuesday.
I am on
Yeah.
the
So
Tuesdays.
you're both not in one thing.
Yeah, Tuesdays
Yeah.
is like neutral night.
Which makes me the best.
You're not on the neutral
Yeah.
night.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. I'm not on
it-
Tuesday. Well, I used to be on Tuesday, and then I
You
had to
used to be.
stop because I hated it.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
But I do my own stream, which is on Metagame,
Yes, on Wednesday night.
a 5D affiliate.
A 5D subsidiary.
Yeah, there you go. Metagame
Jesus
Network,
Christ.
a 5D subsidiary.
Okay, so
Can we start advertising it as Metagame Network now with twice as much fizz? I don't know what fizz is, but I feel like we can
that's
discuss
too close
it later.
to the Futurama thing. I think it'd be like now with more D.
Ooh, but there's literally no D.
There's 3D right here, motherfucker.
There's also in Meta. There's a D.
No, there isn't.
Shut up! Don't tell. What are you doing?
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and
I was hoping to confuse him enough that he just go along with
No,
it.
I'm not that high. I was like, does he say it like an accent? Like, hello,
Meta
this
game.
is a meta game. I was like, wait, what is he implying? Because, again, I'm high. I'm just not that high.
but
He's
he's
like,
honest.
you're not high enough then.
Yeah, right?
Bruh.
You need to get higher to put up with my shenanigans. Jesus
All right,
Christ.
so a new limited run continuing thing we're doing on here. Like I said last week, I was watching through all the Star Wars movies, and I came into it a little late, like doing the review-wise at least. We had done episode 2 and episode 3, which boy are those a low point. Just, I mean, like really reconfirmed a full-on paying attention, adult age rewatch, like not seeing it as a kid, watching it as a grown-ass man who is sitting down and watching a movie. Boy, were 2 and 3 bad. 2 and 3 were really bad. And to catch anybody who didn't catch last week up, I'm doing a modified machete cannon run, which my watch order was Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and then seeing 9 on Christmas Day. So we've just done 6 and 7. Okay. 6 still really holds up, except for the fact that the Ewoks were supposed to be Wookiees. One of those things like where once you learn it, you can't unlearn it. And there's always just that looming shadow of like, yeah, man, the Empire is taken out by a bunch of like bears with sticks.
But dude,
It would
like
make sense if they were Wookiees, because the sticks they would have to lob would be like small trees. It would have been brutal.
yeah.
But
it
it was
changes
just
the whole fucking movie, doesn't it?
a little bit. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not, I'm not saying it's bad. Like, I do have a buddy who, hey, it's his opinion, it's his life, whatever. But after he saw the trailer for episode 6, like when it was first coming out, he's like, I'm done with Star Wars. I won't watch it anymore. Like, he's out. He's 100% out, will not watch or participate in anything Star Wars, because like, I was promised a movie with dope-ass Wookiees. And then he didn't get that, and so he's just done with the franchise. Will not watch them.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I like had I been there in the day, I could see myself doing that, being like, hey, no, this was better, and then you did that just for kids, and I fucking hate kids, so I'm out. I can see it, but I was a kid when I first saw it, and I liked the little bears, and I love the Ewok movies because Star Cruiser, crash, crash. That's the best shit ever. But I will just say, it doesn't make a lot of sense that the bears kill the Empire. That's me doing my entire review of Episode 6. Is it doesn't make sense that the bears kill the Empire.
They didn't even have a concept of death, really. Like one of them dies and goes, and the other one goes over, and he's just like, "Get up, wake up, Archie! Archie, awake! Why aren't you awake?"
Yeah, that was really fucking sad.
That was really sad. No,
It was sad.
The movie has tons of ups and downs. It's a solid movie. I still think, as far as the original trilogy goes, 5 is the best one for my money. Like in my book, I'm an Empire guy. I'll always be an Empire guy. Empire's the
To
jam.
be fair, you were always the kid rooting for the bad guys, anyways, and that's very much the bad guys movie.
They also had a lot of dope ass scenes. Like you have
Oh, yeah.
like fucking Luke getting his hand chopped off, and like
When's the last time you rewatched that scene?
I'm not saying it was a great scene now with it's held up. I'm just saying that it was a really like powerful moment when you're a kid watching this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love how fucking Mark Hamill just chews up the scenery in that scene.
That's my biggest comment
Oh
on that
my
scene.
God.
Like, he's so over the top. I'm like, okay, all that stuff that Carrie Fisher said where they were all on drugs during that movie. Yep. That's all
I mean,
I
it
got.
was the 70s.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. But yeah, so as far as 6 goes, 6 is still really fun. I would actually even say 6 is better than 4.
Okay.
I like A New Hope. A New Hope's great, but I'd say it's probably like, as far as original trilogy goes, 5, 6, 4. That's my ranking.
So
5, 6, 4.
It's funny. As a kid, my favorite was 6 because that's when finally Luke came into his powers and he was just kind of a badass in it, right? As a kid.
Yeah.
It's funny though, going back to it and now knowing more about film and just knowing about, pathos, ethos, and all that kind of thing. It has to be fucking Empire.
Yeah. Empire's just a solid damn movie.
Better done movie. Like, don't get me wrong, I thought 6 was a good enough ending, seeing it as an adult, and it's still like I still like Luke being a badass, but dude, Empire, there's betrayal, and then there's even if it was hammed up, like the revelation's still like to this day.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's his daddy.
Though I love that it's one of the most misquoted lines in history.
Yeah.
He never says, "Luke, I am."
In another universe, he fucking did. Like the Berenstein
Mandela.
and Berenstein Bears. Yep.
I think where that comes from is, did you ever watch the movie Black Sheep?
Oh yeah, I love Black Sheep.
There's a scene where he has a fan and he's all, "Luke, I am your father." And so I think that's where that kind of misconception.
Oh no, I'm
Parallel
actually
universe.
from the universe where Shazam and Kazam were competing movies.
Okay.
I know it for a fact. I had debates with friends in school about which movie was better.
See, that's the fucked up part. For the longest time, I always thought the guy that played Shazam was what was his name? Sinbad.
Yeah, because it was.
I was like, oh yeah, he played Shazam, and they're like, no, it wasn't him. I was like, was that a different movie? Were they the same fucking movie? Because I always thought it was like Deep Impact and fucking was it Armageddon?
No.
You know what I'm talking about. There's the two asteroid movies, pretty much the same fucking movie, came out.
It's like A Bug's
months
Life and
apart.
Ants.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. And again, I legit I can tell you the kid, I can tell you the room we were in, I can tell you which side of things we fell on, because this was a real conversation that I had with somebody. And I was like, no, dude, Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal is the jam. And he was like, no, dude, Shazam, Sinbad, funniest dude, great movie. Like, this, I know people fucking watched it and then compared it. It happened. It fucking happened. At least where I'm from, it did.
Dude, and the other one, the Berenstein versus Berenstein Bears, I fall on the fucking other side of that, and now I'm starting to think that the kids at my fucking library when I was a little poor Mexican were fucking counterfeit.
Maybe.
Because I don't even know what it's supposed to be, but I always remember it being, I'm pretty sure it was always Berenstein. and I think
It
it's
was-
Berenstain.
I remember because everybody always said Berenstein Bears, but it's spelled Berenstain with an A.
Yeah, I was just like, no, motherfuckers, that's not the right bears. That's
It's
not
the
my
same
bear
thing-
family.
I very distinctly remember my parents watching on the news when Nelson Mandela was killed
Yes.
in prison. Except Nelson Mandela didn't die in prison. It's a vivid memory of like me being a kid and walking into the living room and them watching it on TV. Because I remember thinking, like, I don't know who this guy is.
I remember reading it in a fucking history book.
See, there's
Because
so Star Wars Episode 6.
I think there was a book that was published about that, and then there was something about that it wasn't actually true or something like that. I don't remember about being a history book or something. There was something about that.
well, it got pretty big.
Excuses from a government trying to hide that there's a bunch of refugees like myself from another damn dimension who just want to get home and rewatch Shazam with Sinbad.
I guess, but what if those two dimensions have collided and therefore you're just the same person? You just
I just get to
collided
miss out
together.
on all this shit, then it's bullshit and I hate it. And supervillains have won and Wanted is real.
Then I think we know why you're so angry all the time.
Mark Miller was never a good writer. Star Wars Episode 6.
Have you guys checked out this graphic, by the way?
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Oh,
Cool
I don't-
graphic. I'm imagining it's from one of the comics, maybe. But
Oh yeah, that is really good. I like it.
yeah, even if it
Okay.
makes him look whinier than usual. But
So speaking of this one, or of this image, I also watched Episode 7. Y'all ready for like this? You guys ready for something that's gonna piss off like a huge chunk of the audience?
Chewbacca did nothing wrong.
My second favorite Star Wars movie at this point is Star Wars Episode 7. It's really fucking good.
It's better.
It's a solid movie.
I don't think it's better than Jedi.
It's a solid movie. It's really good from the beginning to end. It's written well, it's acted well, and it followed like even a lot of people give Kylo Ren a lot of shit. Oh, it's Darth Temper Tantrum. Bro, did you watch the prequels? Anakin has himself a little baby hissy fit every couple of minutes. What do you mean I don't get my way, Obi-Wan? Constantly. Padme, why don't you love me? Constantly. He's a whiny little fuckface. Not to mention that the dark side openly tells you you should embrace your anger. Fucking let your anger fly. Kylo Ren is just Sith as a motherfucker. He gets pissed and he starts smashing shit because he's fucking pissed. No, like he is an excellent villain. The movie's funny parts are laugh out loud funny. The action parts are well directed and well done. Less so in fucking 8. And we'll get there after I rewatch it, but I already know the scenes I'm going to complain about. No, 7 it's solid. Like there's some great cameos. I can't think of any like one performance that stands out as being shitty, even if you don't like the character of Kylo Ren. He's not doing a bad. It's not like it is with Anakin, right? Anakin is a character that's written fine and portrayed poorly. Kylo Ren is a character that's just written like a little bitch, and the guy plays a little bitch. That's called nailing it. You know what I mean? That's a big. Helen Keller doesn't fucking just grow some shit and start talking. Like, no, she's playing a blind, deaf, and dumb girl, so she's gonna be blind, deaf, and dumb. That's. I realize the dumb is not the current appropriate vernacular, but that's what they say when advertising that.
I know. I have to go back and rewatch 7. My problem with 7 wasn't that it wasn't okay written and then it wasn't okay acted. It was that some of the characters that are written seem wish-washy, and I don't like that. And where they could have had like an actual meaningful impact of like what is happening inside the First Order, they just kind of like shoehorn it back into being beep boop, we are the bad guys. And I felt they could have did more with that. And I felt that boils down to the writing.
He wants
not
the sympathetic Nazi allegories.
No,
to be...
I get what Klops is saying, and here's where like you kind of just have to take some inherent bullshit with Star Wars. They always, even in 4, 5, and 6, think about how much time passes between 4 and 5 and 5 and 6. Like it's a couple of years. When Luke goes back to Yoda, he goes, "Old do I look now?" This hasn't been a week. It's been a hot minute. So what they expect
I understand that
is that you have to read EU. You have to.
I understand that, but there's ways to show that on stream that would have been better than just cutting.
Sure.
Right? And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
you're not wrong, and it's a very long movie, and there was definitely room to do it, but it's one of those things where once you've been into Star Wars for a minute, you kind of just have to accept, like, even some like the best villains, Grievous. Where is his back? He's just a robot guy for no reason. There's a whole backstory that you have to look into to find out why he's a robot guy.
That's why
you have to go.
That's
do
why
it.
the fucking animated show was so good. Not the animated show, like the CGI show.
We're actually watching Clone Wars. My wife for the first time.
That's what was so good because it really delved into the background of some of these characters.
But so I'm just saying. So like watching the new one, because I've done that. I'm not going to spoil anything about it. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm not going to give anything away because I don't want people to do that. I want you to go out and experience it. I'll give my 2 cents later about what I thought about it. And it's going to be a short thing. But seeing what 9 has in it and what 7 did and what 8 did, it feels more like it was bridging the gap between 7 and 9 because 8 fucked up so hard.
8 fucked up really hard.
And it feels like some of that stuff in 9, at least to me, could have been portrayed better in 7 or at least in 8.
Sure.
You know,
well, you also have to go off of I'm sure JJ was probably hoping that 8 wasn't going to drop the ball so much and was going to cover some of this, and then they just fucking didn't.
Yeah, and he definitely
gets for fucking assuming, but
definitely in 9, there's like, okay, that's the route we had to go.
Yep.
Boop. You know.
And I'll do a more in-depth look at 8 next week after we're probably going to watch 8 tomorrow and then go see 9 Wednesday. But. Mm-hmm. One thing I did notice on this rewatch of 7, though, and I was even one of the people saying this, and now after rewatching it, no, it's just wrong. A lot of people were like, oh, 7 is just a clone of 4. All the same stuff happens. And at first I was like, yeah, it totally was. And then I just went back. Like, I watched this fucking Sunday? No, it doesn't. Like, other than a hero meets some friends, gets on a ship and has a space adventure and then like takes down the bad guy.
It's not just take down the bad guy though. There's Starkiller Base, which is this giant Death Star.
Okay, but sure, it's another like spherical doom planet. I just mean as far as like sci-fi movies and epics go, that is many of them. That's most sci-fi adventures.
I'm just saying that they could have did better with some other kind of doomsday weapon or weapons or some kind of threat that the First Order is doing besides let's make a giant planet that shoots death rays to kill other planets.
But what's worse than that? What's the next scale of that? Like, they're gonna blow up the whole galaxy, okay, but they're in it, and then that just doesn't serve their purpose. Like,
no, but they could have did something else to threaten it. They could have been some other thing. It could have had a different style.
Basically, what he's saying is it could have been a biological fucking plague that they were unleashing.
But also, so when would they have planned and built that? Like you have to redevelop that technology, and then B, when you have a fucking plan that works, you don't. The only reason the Death Star got destroyed was because, as we learned in Rogue One, some asshole sabotaged it. So why would you not just build a new one and then not have a guy who sabatages it?
That was just an example of what
that's called a working strategy.
One, that's a lot of things to cover to make sure that one person doesn't sabotage it, and two, there's just other things that you could have did. And honestly, from extended like Star Wars lore and everything, if you ever experienced any of that, there's tons of other things that could happen. There's tons of other things that they could have thrown in. There's tons of other possibilities.
Literally, or what's going to have stakes.
Not even that. Like literally in KOTOR, the first and second one, there's just these old relics that build fucking ships and things.
They can't use any of that. They don't own it.
They don't have to. They don't have to use that. I'm just giving. There's other examples when something needed to happen to the centralized planets in Star Wars any other time. There's these convenient MacGuffins, right? Like a Starforge that can just endlessly produce ships and shit, so that you can just have a fleet. Why does it have to be the same bullshit, like massive destruction weapon or whatever, when it could be something else? It could be another MacGuffin. It could be clearly another MacGuffin.
But that doesn't have the same stakes. Even if you're talking about, oh, they have a poison they can release on a planet. That's just one planet in danger.
It doesn't even have to be that.
To get to.
No, that was just an example.
I understand that there are other MacGuffins. I'm just saying, like, this is just as good as a different, like, just because you swap, oh, this one's a square and it shits bees. Okay, at some point, it's still just a Death Star. Any MacGuffin of any sort is just them taking down the Death Star. You're not really changing anything.
But they could change other story elements of it to where it could be something else. The First Order could have been just something that was just going around glassing planets, and it was a really big issue. And like now they have to like have this thing because now they don't have the Jedi, because every other time they've relied on the Jedi instead of using technology to fight off whatever there's there. Now there's no Jedi. How do they do it?
Well, there's also no Sith. This is no longer a Sith agenda. The First Order is not the Sith.
Right,
and
that's
Snoke
fine.
is not a member of the Sith.
That's fine. That's fine. But everywhere else, the centralized planets have relied on the Jedi in order to like fight their battles and win their things.
No,
and do all
they
this stuff.
haven't. That's over 100 years ago at this point. You can't say they haven't.
No, they did. They did that. They did that in the prequels.
Yeah, the prequels are 100 years ago.
There was, I guess they are 100 from that. But either way, even 60 years ago, there was the Empire. Now there's no Empire. So now you have infrastructure and everything else. There's tons of other things.
The Empire is almost 20 years ago. The Empire does not fall apart until Kylo Ren is about 2. Then Kylo gets taken over by the First Order, who reemerges out of all that. And now Kylo's an adult during it. The Empire's been gone.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, is that the New Republic...
Old as fuck. She got jowls, bro.
Yes, but the New Republic didn't have any Jedis or anything, whereas the other Republic, the Old Republic, was using Jedis and stuff instead of like advancing their technology and like using that to fight battles. They would just send Jedi. They would go to the council and they would talk to them.
Even know that because the Empire has destroyed all of history.
That's
Jedi
fine.
Are a legend.
That's fine. They don't have to know of them. Okay, what I'm saying is that they could have did other things to basically not just be a rehash of 4.
And if a frog had wings, it wouldn't bump its ass when it hopped. But all I'm saying is, sure, this movie could have been anything. But the people saying it's exactly 4, no, it's not. It's exactly every other space adventure, yes. But it's not exactly 4. It's actually really, really different.
I just think actually it's weird that I'm the one falling in the middle of this one. I just think Klops is expecting too much and you're giving it too much leeway. Because look, I liked it. I liked it even before 8 came out and made that one so much better by comparison. So
8's really bad.
8 is terrible. I liked 7. But there are other elements where, yes, they are very much like the hero trope that we're talking about, the hero's journey. Because, you know, poor desert planet Luke, poor desert planet Rey. There are certain comparisons and certain things that are the same where a lot of people are like, yeah, this is exactly the same. I wouldn't say exactly the same. Thematically, yes, and they took a lot of elements that I think what they were going for was to really tug at your nostalgia of this thing you really like, because that's what fucking Hollywood likes to do nowadays.
And just to add on to the desert planet thing, at some point it becomes a tall order, because in the original series we do a desert planet, a planet in the clouds, a jungle planet, and an ice planet. Okay, and then in the prequels we do a lava planet, and we do a populated city. Like, are they just like, we can never redo any of those planets ever again?
But
you know what I mean?
It's the origin of the hero.
Sure,
is a desert planet. Make her origin be a fucking jungle planet. Is Klops' point. And it's one example. There's other little things that they use to just pick at your nostalgia.
I just mean that every single thing can't be brand new every time.
No,
Simpsons did it, bro.
I'm not saying that it has to be brand new every time. I'm just saying that it followed the formula so much to try to tug at nostalgia that it's just basically a rehash of 4. You have the desert planet. No, you have the desert planet with the person is what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. You have the shiny armor person that doesn't do shit that they tried to fucking make into the new Boba Fett, which is Plasma.
Boba Fett's not in episode 4.
I understand that, but they still tried to do that with that one.
Phasma, not Plasma.
Whatever, Phasma, Plasma, whatever she did, she was useless. The dude that stole this show in that one was the guy who was like traitor and like was hella badass with the thing. right? And like the little
Wait,
stun
what
baton.
is his allegory to anything in the prequels?
I'm saying that he stole the show, that spot of like that
Oh, yeah,
unnamed guy.
Fair.
Then you have this giant Death Star like planet that just shoots more beams at more things to destroy a whole system instead of just one planet, because that's what it has to progress to. Because in order for it to be threatening, instead of it being any other threat in this universe, it's just about as dangerous as the fucking Warhammer universe. And then I guess you do have some of the similar things of like the Millennium Falcon and everything else because they're bringing back old characters. But I'm just saying that it seemed like a rehash of 4, as well as the storytelling like devices when they could have did so much more with it.
But it's on a complete heroes are captured. They actually have a direct confrontation with the villain where that does not really happen. And somebody does, but it's a tertiary character who dies. That should everything. I guess maybe some of the setups are the same, but none of the deliveries are the same at all.
Yeah, and sure,
none of the deliveries.
Also, talking to women in this one is a lot better than was portrayed in the original ones because it was
this
just
movie
basically
had black people in it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it does. It still made them a cookie cutter cast, but I'm just saying that
No. I'm making a point of this. Except for that one asshole in Rogue One, there aren't that many beaners in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm just saying.
There needs to be more.
I mean, I don't really give a shit.
I want more aliens. I want more aliens.
I
want more aliens.
I want more aliens in the Star Wars games.
Disney? I want less people that look like me and more weird aliens in the Star Wars universe.
You're not wrong. Just the hard part is budget. To have your main character and make up the whole time is very difficult.
The main character doesn't have to be, okay? Whatever. But besides Chewie, we didn't really have anything in the 7 or whatever, right?
We had
who else was there?
Maz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was Maz, but she was in and out. She wasn't with the cast. She wasn't running around with it. There was barely any aliens.
Because it's the thing I don't like. Also, your villains can't be aliens because they're space racists. So,
well, yeah, the First Order they can't.
The First Order.
Yeah, we can't have that.
No, and same with Empire. Except for Thrawn, they were space racists. They can't.
Yeah, no, I understand. I totally agree with that. It's fine.
Eliminates a bunch.
I'm just saying that, for me, 7 felt like it was just more cookie cutter-ish, and it just wasn't like any of the solo Star Wars, and it had these very similar sets.
Again, 8 came out and made everything better about 7.
8 was so
bad.
Just
because someone has a piece of shit and then someone else has runny diarrhea, you can't say that the piece of shit's better because it's solid. It's still a piece of shit.
I don't like that comparison.
Which one would you prefer to be thrown at you, though?
Neither. Preferred neither.
No. Obviously, that's never the choice with these kinds of questions.
No, that's the choice. That's the third choice. That's what I'm doing. Neither.
And your opinion no longer matters because you copped out.
All right, we're a half hour into the quick update that we did. There's my update, though. I like 7. I think it's the second best Star Wars movie they've done thus far that I've seen. I don't think it's a complete rehash of 4, though I've even actually given my whole speech on why it's okay if it is a rehash of 4.
He did. He defended it pretty hard before.
You can listen to it. I'm just saying, now that I've rewatched it, I actually don't even think that's the case. I really don't. I don't see as much correlation as other people seem to.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm a walk back.
Not looking forward.
The Mandela effect. That's what it is.
Mandela effect.
Whatever it is.
I'm not looking forward to 8.
Nelson
I'm very much looking forward
Mandela?
to 9. Mandela, same.
No.
Honestly, 9 is way better than 8.
I'm seeing 9 tomorrow morning.
9 is way better than 8.
It was going to be really hard not to be, man.
Yeah, bottom of barrel. Okay,
well,
so
no, honestly, I if we're going to do this, even before watching 8, there's no way it's worse than 2 and 3. It can't be. It's not possible. It's not possible.
No. Blasphemy.
Oh, no, I'll give you this, because nobody in 8 delivered an absolutely piss-poor performance, whereas in 2 and 3, 2 people deliver absolutely piss-poor performances.
I'm willing to say that 2 and 3, the needle passes to they're so bad they're good.
No, they're not. Rewatch them. No, they are not.
I have.
Having just rewatched them less than a week ago, I don't know that I'm realistically ever going to actually sit down and watch them again.
I think my favorite thing about 3 was the Star Wars fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then if you rewatch it again, you just realize that they're just doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
It's not even a real
one
fight.
of the worst film fight scenes.
It's just them flailing their lightsabers like they're at a fucking rave.
Yeah.
It's like, how is this? How is this fighting?
3 is all over bad. Padme suddenly dying of a broken heart, even though Grievous is literally a pair of lungs, eyes, and a brain inside
But
of a
he had
fucking
the
robot
will.
body.
Yeah, he's got
Get
resolve, dude.
the fuck out with your will. It's stupid. It's dumb. And again, at least an 8. Even my least favorite character in
She
8.
rolled a
which I've
1
said
on her
before,
constitution, bro.
even my least favorite character in 8, who was Rose, the actress did a great job.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
not the actress's
character
fault.
she was handed. She did everything she could.
Yeah.
She was believable. She sold it. It's just that I hate the character, and that's
Character
not
was
her fault.
I want to
fucking
say
hot
this.
garbage.
It's not a
Anakin and
spoiler.
Padme both suck.
I want to say this because it's not a spoiler. I just, you're gonna notice right off the bat. She looks old in this one.
Carrie Fisher?
Rose,
Oh.
the girl that plays Rose, she looks old. I don't know. For me, she looked really old.
Hey, dude, maybe fame
been a couple
aged
years.
her. It's rough.
Well, she's also been incredibly stressed out because of all the death threats she's gotten for that character, which is terribly uncalled for.
Yeah, that fucking.
No,
people
that
are
I can
dicks.
like I even remember most of what happened in 8. I have a lot of problems. There's no way. It's also at least not as boring as fucking 2 and 3 are.
Okay.
Because it's not between
I
the
think-
two of them.
I think
almost
she
4
also
hours
made-
of trade laws.
Again, I like certain elements of 8. Some stunning visuals. Like, say what you want about the Holdo maneuver, but it looked pretty as fuck.
See, and I like almost nothing about 2 and 3. Almost nothing.
I like seeing all the fucking Jedi
The
on
fight
screen,
scenes are
finally.
great, but much like I've said with fucking Avatar, not The Last Airbender, but the shitty cat people movie, being pretty does not make a good movie. Having a couple fight scenes does not make a good movie.
No,
Yes,
but you
there's
said
some
there
great
was
visuals
nothing
and some
to
great
like.
fight scenes, but nothing as far as being a movie goes. It's a shitty movie with a couple of decent scenes in it.
All right, here we are, halfway through the show. We're not even past. The
Every
first
time we
fucking
bring up
thing.
Star Wars, guys, it's just gonna be half of an episode of us arguing about it.
Just get used to that.
Yeah, it's just part of it.
Wait till we start our all Star Wars podcast.
Just
Oh,
wait till we get to
Jesus.
9. I
Dude,
can't wait for that fucking can of worms.
If we ever actually do an all anything podcast, we will fucking kill each other. Unless Klopp bitches out and agrees with one of us. Just to, make it interesting.
Star Wars is probably the only one that I probably won't. I'll probably do that with everything else because I really don't give a fuck about anything else. But Star Wars, I will fight about constantly.
Speaking about fighting, Klopp did a review of this before, but Bondai's starting to play it, and I'm interested because I was tentative as fuck to get this game because it seemed stamina based.
It's
And
not.
folks that have been
There you go. It's not.
listening to me, they kind of know. But all right, tell us
Boy.
about God of War, motherfucker.
God of War. It's not stamina based. There you go.
Okay.
And so honestly, I enjoy the game, though. They probably just should have done a full reboot instead of like picking up kind of from 3, but not really needing to. It's just a weird call. Like you're at a weird position where I guess I kind of want to go back and play 1, 2, and 3 again, but also like I don't, and I'm probably not gonna, even though I own them. It's fun. I like the plot line. Some of the mysteries they're throwing your way, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of putting these pieces together much quicker than you're handing them to me. So I don't know that, and maybe I'm just wrong. You know what I mean? Like I could be thinking I'm figuring it out, and really I'm just fucking wrong. But it's kind of not seeming like I'm wrong. The controls. Let's get the worst thing out of the way. The control scheme on this game is hot dog shit. It's
Really?
really bad. It's
I
awful.
didn't think it was that bad.
Awful. Like jump and climb over something are 2 totally different buttons. I don't understand why, because you're not really doing like parkour kind of like those should have just been the same button. Your attacks are all shoulder buttons, just very strange. It just does not feel right at all. And it took me a long time to adjust to that.
I think the jump and the climb are different because eventually you get like double jump and stuff. You gotta climb and jump and do stuff. There's a lot more platforming in these ones.
Yeah, but I just mean that games like Uncharted did all of that just fine with a button. This didn't need 2 separate buttons. No game so far has needed 2 separate buttons, and they've all been fine. This felt kind of witchery. It's needlessly complex. Like some of the there's a lot of things that you would never use at the same time, and so you could have justified the same button for them, and they just decided to dedicate a whole button to it. So that's weird. I'm also not really used to God of War with gear yet. Not that that's necessarily bad.
Yeah.
More just that it's kind of an adjustment where it's like, you're earning gear that you're not equipping. Oh, right. I have to do that. Weirdly, I like the kid. I'm liking this trend in games where it's an escort mission where you don't actually have to give a shit about your escort. Like the first one I remember that did this really heavily was BioShock Infinite. I love that you did not have to babysit her. Like the game even says, like, she's gonna take care of herself. Don't worry, she's gonna.
Fucking escort missions. God
this
damn
has
it.
like so the kid can get hurt, but the kid's pretty good about just getting the fuck away from stuff. I like getting to use him as a distraction, but I'm exiting the chat now. Just for anybody who's wondering about that, I'm not in there anymore. You can use the kid as a distraction with his bow, which is a really nice call. But at the same time, I feel like they thought it was going to be much more useful than it's been so far. And I've even done a couple of like smaller boss fights, and yeah, he's kind of a distraction until the boss just decides, no, I'm not going to be distracted by that. The other thing I'm noticing, your dodge does not actually dodge. If something's clipping you while you're dodge, that just hits you full on. There's not even like reduced damage. So unless you're going to dodge completely unscathed, you might as well just block with your shield. So again, you kind of have this like redundant thing that maybe should just be on the same button. It isn't. I don't know. There's just some weird control scheme calls that it's not like, unlike Witcher, which I personally found unplayable. I'm sorry. I know it's a beloved game. I can't play it. There's too many buttons in The Witcher, and I can't handle it.
You haven't tried 3.
No.
Yeah, the three minimize a lot of that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna watch it on Netflix, guys.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to.
I haven't either, but I'm just gonna watch it on Netflix. It's probably just as good.
I don't know how I feel about Cavill.
Yeah, he's fine. It's not his fault Superman sucked. He wasn't terrible.
Well, I thought he was good in the Mission Impossible movie.
I don't watch Mission Impossible movies.
Jesus Christ.
I don't like Tom Cruise. He's not good.
He's okay. He's good in certain things.
Yeah, he's been fine. Okay, that's not the same thing as being
the
good.
thing is that I like him, but I don't feel like I need to defend him. I'm like, he's a megastar. He can fucking defend himself.
Yeah, it's like the Beatles. I don't need to like them. So, yeah, but that's basically, like, I haven't finished it. I can't say if, like, I hear there's a big twist at the end, which I think I've probably already called, but only because people told me there's a twist at the end. So that's fine. I'm not super worried about it. But mostly, it just seems like a really solid one-player experience with kind of a shitty control scheme that you can get used to. Like, especially coming off of Spider-Man or Horizon Zero Dawn, which were super elegant, super beautiful, and felt very natural in your hands. God of War does not feel natural at all. You're putting the effort in to kind of readjust your brain to a control scheme like that, and it more works than it feels good.
I'll have to challenge you on the Spider-Man one, because there were a whole set of moves I never fucking used because I would have had to memorize shit, and it was just no.
That's what I like about a game like Spider-Man, and actually I saw a lot of similar complaints to Kingdom Hearts. A lot of the people I saw who played Kingdom Hearts 3 were like, oh, you gotta hit triangle and all this sparkly shit shows up every 10 minutes. And I was like, so don't hit triangle. There were actually like several different move attacks in Kingdom Hearts 3 that I never bothered to use because I A, wasn't very good at it, and B, just kind of didn't need to. Spider-Man, you could totally play that game without using whole movesets or whole branches.
But there were some cool ones that I wanted to use that I could never remember the thing, and I just abandoned.
Sure, but it doesn't feel elegant. It doesn't feel graceful.
Yeah.
It just feels kind of backwards and wrong. And there's just a couple of things that I think they felt like were really, really smooth and easy and aren't.
See, I didn't have a problem with them. Like I played with the control set. I just was running with the control set. I never had any issues with it. I never was like, this is clunky and unplayable. I was just like, okay, this is fine.
Oh, I find myself just hitting the absolute wrong button all the time because on any other game, that button would do something else, or like the dodge roll. You know me, Klops. I'm like, if I have to like dodge and move and block, it's usually not my kind of game, but I can do it. It's just not the kind of combat I'm interested in. In this one, half the time that I'm hitting dodge, it's like, no, that thing fucking hit you anyways.
But like, that's more to the timing though, because like I had to get the timing down.
It's not the timing. A ranged guy can shoot you at any point of your dodge. So if you're dodging melee and ranged is there, doesn't matter. You're just going to get shot by the ranged thing. They never, not once, not one time, even by accident, has a ranged guy missed me during my dodge. Not once. It's because the dodge doesn't function as well as your actual shield block functions. You should be hitting shield instead of.
I still think that's part of a timing thing.
How is it? So the timing is don't ever dodge because it can hit you at any point.
Yeah.
At what point of timing does something that can hit you at any point, does it come into play?
8 o'clock.
So like if you're looking at the melee guy and the guy's over here, he's going to shoot you, and you dodge back or dodge forward, you'll be able to get out of it.
No, because even dodging backwards, they still shoot you, Klops.
Okay, yeah. Tell that to the guy that plays Dark Souls and knows about timing things and plays these games all the time. Go ahead. You can argue with me. It's fine.
Souls, Klops. This is a different game with a different engine and a different clipping mechanism.
Go ahead. Yeah, most
I'm
Dark
telling
Souls
you
clones
because
are.
the exact scenario that you're describing I've done, and it didn't work the way you're saying it.
Go ahead.
Most Dark Souls clones, and that's why I didn't want to play this.
It's not a
game.
Dark Souls clone. There's no stamina in it, and it's not timing-based combat. You can wail on stuff and win. You're just going to take more damage.
Wait till you get later.
I know everything about this game, even though I didn't play it, and I played this other game that's not this game, but it makes me know everything about this game because I think it's similar, even though I'm saying it's not similar, and I know about it, even though I didn't play it. So go ahead. No, I'm going to repeat it because it makes it sound like I have a point, so go ahead. Go ahead. I'm right.
Go ahead.
I'm right. That's you right now. You're not even making a point. You're not making
Because what's the use in arguing with a pigeon if it's going to strut around, shut on the board, and think it's going to win anyway?
If you would actually, like, here's a scenario. Okay, I did that scenario. It didn't work. Whatever, bro. It works in this other game. Whatever.
No, it works in that game. It works in God of War.
You said it works in Dark Souls, bro. I play Dark Souls. That's what
I said. No, because you're sitting here telling me that doesn't work. And I'm like, whatever, dude. Tell the guy that plays these games. You're like, this doesn't work. I don't normally play these games. I don't know why it doesn't work. And I'm like, dude, I play these games all the time. It's just about timing.
I never said I don't. I played all the God of War games, and this is not a Dark Souls game.
You said timing, dodging, and blocking games are normally not your cup of tea. You normally don't play them.
This is not that.
This is one of them. Yes, this is part of it.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. There's no stamina in this game.
You don't need stamina to have that.
There's no.
The new Star Wars game doesn't have stamina, and it's the same thing.
You don't even need to engage in melee combat in this game. There are entire builds that don't involve any timing.
I just want to say that Klops 2 weeks in a row has saved me fucking money because now there's 2 games I'm not gonna fucking play.
But what he's describing is literally not the game you're going to be buying. There is no element of. I even played what's the shitty fucking PlayStation one that you swear is gold, and the thing that I've literally been doing in it over and over. You swear is not a thing. What's the shitty Dark Souls PlayStation game, Klops?
It's not a shitty Dark Souls game. It's a Bloodborne game.
So I've played Bloodborne. This is not that. This is not even kind of Bloodborne. It's not even vaguely close. I guarantee you, if you went to like a chat forum, chat forums aren't still a thing, but I'm gonna pretend like they are. If you went to a chat forum for like
they
Dark
are
Souls
a thing.
Games,
you bitch.
4chan is not a real thing. That's just
no. Steam's got a whole chat forum.
Ew, people actually use that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gross. So either way, if you were to go into a Dark Souls one and bring up how great God of War is, they're gonna go, "That's not a Dark Souls game." It's not. It's not even kind of the same. It's not.
You're wrong. That's okay. You could be that way.
Also, 2 games I'm not going to play. I'm just not in. It sounds like work. I just, no.
No, it's more just don't bother using dodge. Dodge is worthless. Just pull up your shield.
I miss my hack and slash God of War.
Oh.
The shield blocks literally everything, and dodge literally blocks nothing.
It does not block everything. There's enemies in the game that will break through your block.
Hasn't happened yet.
But it's gonna happen, and you gotta dodge.
One boss that exploits some mechanics.
It won't be bosses.
How terrible. How terrible.
I think it's funny that
Won't be bosses.
one guy just started it, the other guy didn't finish it, And I don't know how far either of you guys are, so I'm like, are they even arguing over the same fucking level?
I've already fought 2 bosses, so I'm not a short way into the game.
How many bosses did you kill, Klops?
I'm on the Elven level or whatever it is, where you go through the gate, warp gate.
Have you hit that point yet?
I got a gate to get me to the Dwarven Forgers.
Oh no, I'm past the Dwarven Forgers.
You run into them multiple times. I've met one of them twice and then the brother once.
I've met, I think it was about that, if not more. I went to the next world. You go to the next realm.
Okay, yeah, I haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess there's a warning for you, Bonsai.
I'm sure I won't have a problem because the block just works and the dodge does not.
Okay.
A block build in Dark Souls.
It's not the same thing, but okay.
Can't do that.
In Tetris,
can't do that.
you just drop the line down on the right-hand side, it clears all the blocks. So I play Tetris.
Yeah.
Tetris is all about timing. I play Tetris. So whatever. Okay, all you need is a straight block. You just need a straight block.
You just gotta get one.
Yeah, just get the straight block.
Just put the cheat code in. It'll be fine.
Tetris didn't have. Does Tetris really have cheat codes? I don't think there was ever I don't think there was ever a reason for a cheat code.
I don't think so.
Yeah, if you need a cheat code for Tetris, get the fuck out.
You can also just put the game on the last level. You don't even need a level select code. You can just do that.
Stop.
You can start at any number of lines already populated.
Yeah. It's Tetris.
And
Can we all just talk about how great Tetris is for the rest of this?
No, Bejeweled, bitches.
Bejeweled was good too.
I was just talking shit. Wanted to start another argument.
If we're doing anything, we're doing columns.
Columns. Oh, Jesus. Or Dr. Mario. Fuck you.
Ooh, actually, Dr. Mario is dope. I like Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario was my jam. I found a used copy at the flea market. You could barely tell what was on the fucking cartridge itself, but the title on the top showed me that it was Dr. Mario. And you remember how
Dr. Mario?
It was for the NES. And you know how those old cartridge labels, like once they start wearing off, they look sort of purplish.
Yeah,
it was purplish. But yeah, I played the fuck out of it. Love me.
I like that Klops had it at the ready though.
Yeah,
I just happen to have my Game Boy over here.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
Yeah, but what else would you keep in your Game Boy? Which Game Boy you got, Klops? Can I see your Game Boy?
Yeah, you can. It's not in the Game Boy. Bill and Ted's in the Game Boy right now.
Oh, Klops has a color with a protective case. It's one of the nice see-through jobs. I'm not sure. Is it a gray see-through or a purple see-through?
It's a purple. This was actually my dad's. This is my dad's,
I don't think
and I kept it.
Gray see-throughs for the color.
It was
for the pocket. The pocket had gray see-throughs. I thought all the see-throughs on
color had color.
Color were color.
Nope, there's a gray. I'm looking at it right now.
Game Boy Color?
Yep.
Huh. Weird. I didn't think they made
$98.10.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we've got not very much time. Do you want to hit something else or?
Did I have something else? I think
no. Klops. Did you want to hit one of the games you played?
Oh yeah, I played the Long Reach. That's the short one.
Check it out.
So Long Reach is this like side scroller kind of pixel like indie game that takes place mostly in a kind of research lab. Now it's more like a murder mystery and like you trying to figure out what's going on and everything.
Is this like that boat one that came out on the Switch? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
You gotta solve the mystery on the boat.
Oh, TK was just talking about that one. Yeah. No, it's not like that. There's definitely an active plot that's happening to it. It starts off with you as a guy that's going to the convenience store, and then shit goes south, and people end up dead.
Return of the Obra Dinn. Just
that's the one TK was just talking about.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than that. Like that one's really just murder mystery where you're going around trying to piece together these events that are happening.
Right.
This one, because it's a research lab, they have this weird like experiment that's gone on, and like so a lot of the time through the gameplay you don't know what's real and what's not, and your character starts to pick up on that, and they're like, I'm kind of going crazy, but I know that that's not real and that is kind of thing. And it was really good, and I picked it up for like I think $1.50, right, on the Switch store. And it was just one of those games that I just like wanted to keep playing.
But this
I
is one
wanted
of
to
those games
solve
that's
what was happening with it.
digital only, right?
Yeah, it was digital, and I picked up on digital. And there's no real combat. It's all really puzzle based, kind of point and click adventure. But instead of being a normal point and click adventure, it's just you finding items and you have to figure out what you're going to do with those items. Honestly, I really recommend it to people if you like that kind of style and you like a darker story and you like a kind of mystery that goes along with it. That's trippy. It's something that's really worth at least one playthrough. I don't know if I'd pay $10 for it. Definitely try to get it on a bargain bin because it wasn't that long. I don't know what kind of replay value there is because it's not like my choices changed anything. It's really you just have to figure out what the right choice is, and everything else will murder you, essentially. Right. But it's definitely worth it. I'd give it probably about a 4.5 syringes out of 5.
So, Klops, actually, one I wanted to run by you. I have not played it, but it came very highly recommended from a friend. I think I'm actually going to try it, even though it's not my normal affair of game. But I feel like you might like this, and I don't think you've played it. The name didn't sound familiar. Have you done Slay the Spire on Nintendo Switch yet?
I have not played that on Switch. I think I actually have that in my Steam one.
So it's supposed to be a roguelite card battle game, which I just think are two kind of interesting mechanics to stack together, you know? And again, I haven't played it, but he was raving about it. And I don't know, I actually feel like that's the kind of thing I could probably tolerate losing all progress on, you know, like worst case, so you build a new deck. Whatever. I actually like building decks.
See, I'm really not into deck builders. I'd much rather have direct control or something in a roguelike.
I thought you were a Hand of Fate fan.
That was me.
I have played it, and that one I find really tolerable.
I cannot beat the last boss on Hand of Fate, but other than that, it's a lot of fun.
It's
the gauntlet. So the gauntlet for the last boss, you have to fight every single other boss and then another boss. And it's just like, I can get right up to it, man, but I just have not been able to beat it.
Yeah, I do have Slay the Spire on my Steam.
You'll have to give it a shot and let me know if you think it's worth it.
Yeah, I totally will. Actually, I'm starting installing that right now, actually.
I'm going to do it now! No, my buddy on Switch
only like 12 megabytes. Or
yeah, it's not very big. He found it on Switch for real cheap, but he's really all about it. Oh, I guess you guys want to do one last thing that's just going to make me sound like the piece of shit that I am?
Sure.
I bought myself a Christmas present.
I was about to say, you're going to talk about Christmas now?
I bought a second Switch.
Bought a second Switch?
That's fine. I didn't even go for the light. I just bought a straight up full-on second Switch.
You might as well for the price that they are.
That's this is going to become my travel Switch. This is going to be my I'm going to leave the house with this one. I'm going to get a nice case for it. It's also so me and my wife can trade Pokemon and Sword and Shield. 90% of the reason she was like, I think you should do this.
She's like, I'm in. Yeah, I still haven't picked up Sword and Shield, man.
I mean, if you like Pokemon, you'll like it. If you're kind of on the fence about Pokemon, you'll probably be on the fence about it. And if you don't like Pokemon, it's not going to win you over.
I like Pokemon.
And if you did like Pokemon, but you just don't find this one captivating, you probably won't like this one. Because that's me.
This one is a lot more grindy, and the story's chunkier. Like the first one, it kind of seemed like there was always something new to do in each town. And this one, you'll go through several towns with just like, yeah, go there and fight the gym. Okay, now go fight the next gym. Like, kind of nothing happens for several cities in a row, but then towards the end, they kind of stack up a few things, and you're like, okay, we couldn't have just done this throughout? I don't know. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I'm looking forward to playing Ni no Kuni next. We're finally going to play Curse of the White Pitch.
I'm pretty sure that's not what it is.
Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure you can Google that.
Yeah, please do. Everybody Google. Let us know. All right, that brings us here towards the end.
Is it safe to go back and chat? I'm not going to go back and chat. I'm not going to do it.
Nobody decided to. They were threatening to, and I tried to, be like,
I'm not going to go back and chat.
No, don't do it. But they didn't do it so far. Don't go back and chat. All right. So happy holidays, everybody. We're doing that thing.
Anybody else? We got like 5 minutes. Anybody else get anything Christmassy? You all actually waiting for Christmas?
Yeah, it was like,
I got a knife.
I got my HTC Vive for Christmas.
You got a vibrator and you got a knife.
Yeah, once I actually play a fucking full a game, the 3 that I wanted aren't fucking working. So once I got Doom for it, so I'm gonna play the Doom
Oh, that's
VR.
cool.
Once I play that, I'll do a review of it.
Yeah,
So
my
far, I'm
other
enjoying
Christmas
it.
present was a game, and I can't talk about that.
Oh, is it a Star Wars game?
No, yeah, it's Star Wars Episode 9 game.
That's funny. Now he's just fucking around. What's this?
They get to go
Oh.
into a Sega.
Nice. That's kind of cool. Oh my. Well, for those folks,
That might be
who are
streamed
listening,
next week.
Oh.
No, tune in for the stream. Tune in to twitch.tv/metagame network Wednesdays
Wednesday nights.
except for Christmas. I'm not playing on Christmas.
Oh.
Ooh, look at you.
Also,
It's
yeah.
for the computer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's kind of
It's
cool.
a USB one. That's
Yeah,
dope.
because I bought Kid Chameleon for $1 on Steam.
I believe it's pronounced Chameleon.
And that's
Okay.
Mr. Chameleon to you, Chameleonaire. I'm pretty sure that's a rapper name. I'm pretty sure I've heard that before.
It is.
All right. There won't be a stream this last Tuesday. I don't know. I forget when these.
Oh,
come out.
we're not doing stuff this Tuesday?
Well, I won't be there because
I like that he's not there, so it's not happening, Klops.
That's
That's
how
fair.
it turned out. I'm like, hey, can you stream? He goes, I don't have the credentials anymore. And so if I'm not there, there's no stream. My people celebrate Christmas the night before. We have dinner and then presents at midnight kind of thing. And then Christmas Day we just kind of like hang out. But so the dinner's tomorrow night.
Okay.
So y'all can still play. Y'all do y'all's.
Oh, no, I'm doing it. No, I'm working.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll chat with the folks that are usually involved and see what's up. I will be back tomorrow night sometime. I don't know. Might be ready to fucking stream into the night. I don't know. Anyways, Bias Bros. Talk about that, Bonsai.
Bias Bropins on iTunes. God, it took me forever to think of what that stupid platform I don't use is called. It happens on iTunes, alternating Thursdays. Posts when I post it. Check Friday, and then it'll have been up since Thursday.
Or maybe not, depending on the Thursday that it was
Depending
supposed to go
if
on.
you check it on Friday and there's not a new one, wait till next Friday, and then it'll be up. It's alternating Thursdays. But once you find one, you'll know when the next one. It's not like it's like a crapshoot and you have to guess. You really just got to find one.
This feels the beginning felt like a Mitch Hedberg joke. I used to do drugs. I still do drugs, but I also used to. Oh God! All right, and on that note, final words, Klops.
YouTube's.
Final words, Bonsai.
YouTube's dodge doesn't work.